Welcome to the commute.
Instead of early morning commute
I'm Shannon.
before 7 o'clock. I'm Andrew.
We were supposed to meet at 6:30. Andrew was late. I know that's a shocker.
It's a big shocker.
I know
Never
it's a
late.
shocker.
It's always on time.
Late. And but we did hit the road by 6:45.
Well, it's just though, but like when I did finally get there and I
That's
was ready to go,
Yeah.
we didn't go because like there was still a 5-minute delay.
What, 5 minutes? I don't brush my teeth for 5 minutes.
At least 2.
I was brushing my teeth in the Kroger parking lot.
Right. It's like,
Well, if you would have been on time, I would have still had coffee, and I would have just brought my toothbrush with me and brushed.
see, so you're welcome. So you got all that out of the way. And didn't have, that's what I'm tired of, that coffee. That
Well.
makes sense.
That's silly.
I mean, we don't have like a thing at home. It's like, we have a French press, we have like the AeroPress, we have a Chemex, we have a pour over, we have an espresso machine. We don't have either not an Nespresso machine, an espresso machine.
Oh.
So we don't have like a Nespresso or a
Keurig.
Keurig. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not doing all that.
So for you,
Wait,
it would
I'm not-
actually,
I'm not heating up water, grinding beans, putting it in the French press,
And then that
waiting
would
5
also
minutes
be
for water.
rude, because then with the grinder, you would definitely wake up Adam, and
Oh,
that would
no.
be rude.
No, I wouldn't. I mean,
Really?
Yeah, he sleeps like a. No. The only way to wake up Adam in the morning is go in his room and stare at him. He'll wake up. But you could bang on stuff in the.
That would be creepy.
He used to do it to me. It wakes me right up too.
Like you can feel someone staring
Yeah.
at you.
Like literally, if it's 5 in the morning. If you go into his room and you just stand in his doorway and look at him, he'll wake up within 30 seconds. I'm not even kidding.
When we were on the trip, I'm gonna do that to him.
and he wakes up the same way. What are you doing? And so he wakes up. So if we got to be somewhere.
I'm so gonna do that. I think that one of the places he has his own room.
Yeah.
I'm so doing it.
So when we sometimes have those 3 a.m. flights or whatever, we got to wake up to get to the airport by 5, whatever it is. That's how I'll wake him up. I won't go in there and yell at him. I'll just stare at him. I'll have his door open. I'll just look at him, and he'll wake up within literally 15 to 30 seconds. It's impressive. He's just so socially conscious. And he's like, why is someone looking at you? Even in his sleep, his body's just telling him, someone's looking at you. It's weird. Address it. So, I mean, I feel like a big creep, but it works. So,
Oh God, I can't wait.
it's good. Oh,
All right. Today, I think in a past podcast or in just a conversation we've had, we talked about customer service. So today it's going to be all kind of customer service, past customers. We kind of are grouping a bunch of things together. But though it started with how customer service has changed.
yeah, from 10 years ago to now.
Yeah. And so when I think about that, I think about how 10 years ago the customer was always right. You think about it in a tipping perspective.
Tipping's out of control. I mean, listen, 10 years ago, if you go into Scoops and it's $8,
Scoops is an ice cream place.
yeah, but they'll have their little tip jar out there, that people will throw dollar bills in. But now it's they flip it, the 20% 30 check, and they're just expecting you to tip 20%. You just freaking scooped an ice cream.
And you get paid more than the $2.13 an hour a waitress gets paid.
So let's not act tipping's just out of control. Starbucks people make decent money with benefits.
Oh yeah.
I don't need to tip you $2 because you I ordered
made the coffee that you're
but
supposed
I
to
order a cold brew.
Uh-huh.
It's literally put a little half and half, put some ice, and do this.
do this is pulling a lever.
Pulling the cold brew lever. That's it. I'm not listen. If I'm one of these people where you got to put 10 shots of this and all these pumps, yeah, I'll throw you an extra couple bucks because that's a pain in the butt.
Oh, $1. No
But-
more than $1.
But a cold brew, and then they're just Do you want a tip? No. God, I'm already paying $6 for the thing. So that's when I think about customer service. We never used to have a tip like it. Yeah, you tip at restaurants.
But it was
Also,
different because waitresses didn't even make minimum wage.
Yeah, right.
They made like when I was waiting tables, it was $2.13 an hour, and I still think it's not much more. You okay?
Yeah, I almost dropped water down my shirt. Well, I'll never complain about tipping at a restaurant.
Right.
Like I'll always tip like 25%, 20% minimum.
Right.
So like I'm never going to complain about that. But the industries that are now like you're tipping people that are making like I don't know.
What about service guides? Like we did that whitewater rafting trip. What about tipping them?
You know, it just depends. Like for me, it's the same thing like cutting grass. If you like your guy and they did a great job, then it is an actual like, hey, great job, man. Here's a tip. Kind of like a bonus.
Right.
It's more like I look at that more of a bonus than a tip. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because a tip for me is like in today's industry, a tip is almost expected.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like.
Okay. Well, I feel like when the customer was always right, it was a better industry in general. Like not that the customer is always right, but you take care of them like they are right because they are paying you. And I guess there's different industries and sometimes it's like stupid, but okay, like Neiman Marcus, they used to, I don't know what their policy is now. They would take anything back, even if they didn't sell it. Used tires, bring them to them. They find the amount and they take a return. Anything. Customer is always right. The customer service representatives had the discretion. They were given the discretion to refund, to do whatever it took to make sure that the customer is happy. And you have a loyal Neiman Marcus buyers. Like, I mean, we know a guy, he will not buy any article of clothing from anywhere other than Neiman Marcus because he is so like ingrained to their customer service policy. And so like for me in real estate, I feel the same way. Like I feel that the client is always right. And that's why I always tell the agents, well, even when there's something wrong that the client did or the other agent, always look to see what you did wrong or what you could have done better, because you can always learn from anything that's happened in a transaction. Even if you feel it's not your fault, you could have done something different and better.
Yeah, well, it's always usually, even if the customer is wrong, it's usually either a communication error where you could have been better, or or like an emotional error, right? Where you like kind of didn't handle a situation properly because you were fed up or frustrated or anything like that.
Right. So, you had notes on the sheet of the other things we said. Oh, hit on that. What was it?
It was customers always right, and it was how do you put your clients first and really make a difference in their lives?
Oh yeah, and then like keep them involved and stuff.
Incorporate them in everything.
So like even using other like industries.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to use my spa that I've been going to for my facials. I feel like they're really good about staying in touch, always running specials, like always like in my face, like, hey, you can do this. Would you like this? Or free gifts, free things, like all the time.
Yeah.
So I feel like the way they stay in communication is like top notch. Like it's really good. But also when you go into this place, you are treated very well. And cost wise, it's about the same as if you went to any other spa. But like the way you are greeted, the way you are handled, it is amazing. So I think for our industry, we try to really stay in touch, right? Email, social media, all of that. And then we also do like the pop-bys, mailings. We send little gadgets. So we just try to be like, when you think of real estate, you think of the Shannon sales team or Watkins Real Estate. So, but I don't know what else. Communication, making sure you stay in touch, actually calling them.
Yeah. Well, I think like we did our lunch and learn yesterday with Dawn, and that's what her whole thing was. All my past clients or even my future clients, I connect with them on Facebook, Instagram, put in my close friends list, and I'm inviting them to like anything I'm putting together for that's real estate related or anything related, I'm going to invite them to. And just like if it can be a net benefit, if I feel like it's a net benefit to them, I'm going to invite them to it just so that it's just that constant. And yeah, they're probably never going to come, or or some of them will, but like it's still just to stay top of mind, and to stay like, oh, she's still trying to like help us out by doing this, or she's still like looking out for us and thinks it might be a good idea to do this. Like,
what we notice is the same ones always show up to our stuff. But the other one that I like, and I'm not sure if she does this or not, but when you just inform them of what's going on in the community. Hey, I don't know what you're doing this weekend, but check out this. Like constantly giving them tips and advice and things to do, like, because some people just aren't good at that. Like, what's going on? I don't know. Like, I would never know. So like having that like insight. One of my agents that I coach, that's what she does, and I love it. She sends everybody a Thursday email that tells everything that's going on in Sandy Springs and Atlanta, and I'm like, that's so like cool. I like that. So
especially for us, because you really could send your whole database of Atlanta, what's going on in or around Atlanta this week.
Yes, we probably need to tell everyone that one of the, what is it?
The debate is this week.
Yeah, we should probably tell everybody.
Yeah,
Thursday's the debate. Stay out of Atlanta.
Yeah,
I might not actually want to come in town at all.
That's the truth. That is going to be such a terrible day.
That's going to be rough. But
that's tomorrow.
It's private. They're not having a public event.
I go listen to them at 2:30.
Where? Not in Atlanta.
In Dallas.
Oh, that's bad.
That shouldn't be too bad. I should be able to go 285 to 20.
Ooh. Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right, your phone is off again.
Oh, but the last one was what do you do about clients that they love you, they'll never use another agent, they're so thankful for you, and they come to find out they've listed their home with another agent. And you've stayed in contact.
Yeah.
You've
done everything you can
pretty
do.
much you've done everything you can do.
So, and usually if they've listed...
Oh, so and then they ask for your advice. Yes. After that listing goes bad, then you got to come in and kind of help them.
Yeah.
Erg.
So... Erg.
That was one on the sheet. That was one on the notes.
So I feel like with that, it's one of two things. It's a friend or a family member or something. They're like, oh, we had to give them a chance, blah, 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 blah. I know we actually had this happen recently. We helped this family sell a house, buy a house, sell that house, and help them buy another house. Well, they met some new people in the area because they moved over to like the Peachtree City area, and they sold their house with this new person. And it did go fine, but they are now homeless.
They didn't have something to buy?
No. And it all happened during, when it was hot time of the market. And I know we stay in touch.
So they're just renting?
Yeah. So, now they're asking us for help on the buy side. And I'm like, okay, we'll help. I'm not helping. Somebody will help. But I think it's one of those things they really do, they want to try their friends. And I think that we have to do better at educating them. Hey, if you have a friend that gets in real estate, have them call us, right? Like, don't just assume that your clients are always going to use you no matter what. Because anything could happen.
Yep.
So, I don't know if there's necessarily a way to fix it, but hey, if you ever get a friend or family member in real estate, have them give us a call. Not even necessarily to join with us, but if they ever need anything, because then if you set that tone, like, we'll help your friends, we'll help you. Like, we understand that there's a relationship stuff, and then you stay in touch. I think it kind of sets you apart from other real estate agents. But when they call and they start asking, hey, stuff's hitting the fan, like, what's going on? That's loud.
All right, Jordan.
I think that's when you kind of have to say, okay, now legally, I can't really answer questions because I don't know the full story, right? Like, I'm getting your side, I don't get their side, I don't know what's in the contract. So I think as agents, we need to shut up. Like, we do not need to be trying to give advice on someone else's files, no matter if they didn't use you. And
contact a real estate attorney.
Right. So I shy away from ever giving advice when they're in the middle of something. But I do tell people, hey, if you've listed with someone else, like I have one right now, he listed with his wife's pick instead of with me. And he was like, hey, it's on the market. Don't know if you can market to your people. I'm like, of course. Like, send me the listing, right? We still want buyers. So I know we can help in those kind of ways, share in the listing, go do video tours. We did that for that $1 million house, $2 million house, whatever. But I think overall, don't give advice and tell them, you know, hey, if your contract expires or terminates or whatever, and you want me to come out and look at things, I can do it then. But ethically, I cannot. I can't help you while you're in the middle of another contract.
Yeah.
But agents do it often.
They do. And they always, for some reason, they always think that their client is right when they're complaining about another agent. But if it ever came down to them, then the client's lying and they're not telling the truth. So, like, you kind of have to. People always tell stories from their point of view.
Yep.
I mean,
there's three sides to every story.
Yeah, and like that's just the truth forever and always. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
It can be frustrating, but it's always going to happen.
Yeah, and then sometimes you didn't do a good job at communicating is another reason they'll use someone else, right? Like, remember we had that, and we mentioned it before in the podcast, but we had one of our agents, and he didn't get a listing because his client thought that he was only a buyer's agent.
Yeah.
So, like, you've got to do good about staying in touch, communication. And I do think that people, even though they might not come to stuff, they do like to get invited to stuff.
Yeah.
So, like what Don was saying, invite them to everything. Yeah. So, all right. Customer service. Customers are always right.
Always, even when they're lying.
Even when they're lying.
They're still right. That's probably my friend right there.
He didn't look old.
What do you mean?
Wasn't it an old guy that pulled you?
No, he's a young guy.
What was that?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
How do you not remember? It's probably recorded somewhere.
No,
we're on the phone.
We were on the coach call. Okay. Anything else with customers? Any other events you have?
Events?
Yeah, vents. Like,
vents.
You want to vent about anything with your customers?
Not at the moment. They've all been pretty good lately.
Do you have enough of them? Because I feel like your numbers aren't up there.
I got plenty.
Huh?
I got plenty. The market's tough, man.
Yeah, you think?
It's not like it's just every customer takes a while. Like it's very rare to find someone that they're going to close in 60 days.
Oh yeah.
It's like 120 to 150, honestly.
Is that because of what's available, or are they gun shy?
I think it's both. I think it's three things. I think it's gun shy, that like people are like, they don't understand the total cost when it comes to buying real estate, when it comes to down payment plus closing costs plus like everything else. I think it's interest rates are affecting everybody's buying power, and lenders are less likely to kind of, hey, this guy with a 585 credit score, like they're a lot more stingier right now with handing out loans.
Yeah.
And I think just availability.
Yeah.
I think there really isn't that much on the market right now. So
yeah.
I think it's a threefold problem. And I think everybody who is trying to buy is a renter who doesn't have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people who have money are people who bought in 2020 to 2022 who are sitting on a lot of equity, and they're like, well, I'm just going to wait for rates to come down before I buy something, because then I don't want to pay 7% interest rate.
But that's silly.
Yeah, but that's just how, that's how those boomers and Gen Xers are thinking, I guess. I don't know.
Not smart. If you're looking to buy now, if you find the house that you want, because prices are going to go up.
Yeah. And
then when the interest rates come down, you can just refi. Yeah. And most of these, most good mortgage companies are doing the refis at no cost.
Yeah, the no lender cost.
Yeah.
You still have like the $2,000 for the attorney, but you can build that in the loan.
Well, the attorney's only $700-800.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yes.
Right. So you have to refund your escrow and things like that. But yeah, you're talking minimal cost to refi for a lower interest rate. So do that. And then you're not going to spend more for the house.
Yeah. But so I was just saying, I think it's like, so the only clients that are quicker are people who are selling to buy. It's like those double-sided like, so you get the seller, and those are the only ones that are like, you get like this listing appointment. She's 3:30. Sells. She's got to buy. That will be the only one that's like, hey, I'll probably have 2 transactions from that lady in like the next 45 to 60 days.
Right.
Just because she'll have the money. Because she owns her house outright.
Yeah.
Everything like that. But like anybody you get a call on, whether it's in office, so whatever it is, it's slow because I had a guy who loves the house, wanted to put an offer, 5:30, all that. He has $10,000 in collections from 12 years ago.
Oh, and he
didn't. Is that a stop? He's got a stop sign?
I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah.
So it's just like it is actually a pretty tough market right now.
But $10,000 in collections, like he can't pay it off, I guess.
Well, he only has $22,000 for his down payment and closing costs.
And he didn't know he had collections.
Yeah. Right. So.
Yeah, it sucks.
He says he didn't know, but then he knew about it.
Sellers are worse.
Yeah. When he talked to Adam, yeah, I know about it. I got to get that figured out. Well, yeah, you do, because they would have been approved, but they don't have the money to pay off the collections and have a down payment. So.
Right.
It just is. Yeah, it's just like it's an interesting market right now.
Well, yeah, it used to be that way when I started. Like people weren't buying. Well, not when I started, but like 2005, 6-ish. It was very much like you didn't get to put someone under contract in 30 days. You had to nurture. You had to like foster.
Yeah. So I think that's where like this thing, especially the next 6 months, where it's just like key. You have to keep calling. You got to send them stuff. You just have to keep them. And you'll get your cash people every once in a while.
Yeah.
That are like, yep, they got cash. Like they're going to do cash. And they'll close in 30 days in investors. But
yeah, but if you're not staying in touch with them, then you're not. If you're not making the calls, if you're not doing the work, you're never going to find the cash ones. And if you're not staying in touch, you're never going to have closings.
Right. So it's just an interesting market right now.
Yeah. I had an interview with a crazy lady yesterday. She hops brokerages a lot, and she's not doing good, obviously. So she called and wanted to talk, and I said, "You work a full-time job. Real estate is not for you."
Yeah.
Like right now, this market is really hard.
Yeah.
And think about from the consumer standpoint. If I'm a consumer, I am not using a part-time agent. Period. The end.
No, why would
I am not doing that. One, they definitely don't have the time for you. Two, they don't know how to negotiate for you because they're not involved in the market on the day in, day out. No way. So I told her, I was like, you need to put your license with a holding company. You need to start saving, get a plan in place. I told her at the holding company how she could make money. Like, people are crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, if I have one, and this is why I'm a terrible recruiter. These agents and wannabe agents come in, and I'm like, any brokerage will take you because you have to pay them.
Yeah, you're going to pay your office bill.
Let's be real. Like, you are not going to sell anything.
Yep.
You have a full-time job. How? When are you going to sit on the phone for 4 hours and make phone calls? Like, oh, people are so annoying. My full-time agents don't even do what they're supposed to do.
Well, especially now, like there is no this anymore. Like for us, it used to be, oh yeah, just get on Zillow, you get leads, call you. Like now, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be on Zillow, you're going to get fired. So from Zillow, they're going to fire you. So like it is even like, hey, even as a part-time agent, you can't even handle that because if you're not keeping everything up to date, keep your people. If you're not closing a couple people a year at least, you're going to get fired.
Right.
So like that's where it's
good.
Yeah, it is good. That's what. But it's just, I don't know. It is tough, but it is a tougher market, and it's just. That tangent was about. But.
Well, I just think that it all points to like customer service, and like it starts before closing. It starts before they're a past client.
Yeah.
Like you've got to like take care of your clients and customers the very first phone call.
Yeah.
Like you've got to be on point, and you've got to offer value. Because if you're not offering value in this industry, you are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Just go to the next person. And this is why we talk about the disc so much, because you've got to be able to mesh with all types of people. You can't just mesh with the people you like.
No, for sure.
So, and I just don't, a lot of agents are not good at it. They're just not good at relationships and communication. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think people just in general, they're not good at it. They're usually not good at understanding or dealing with people that they don't understand. Like if they can't like get and said, okay, what drives this person? What is this person about? They don't ever think about that. They only think about themselves in those situations. That's really the problem at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. And also, if I have one more agent that tells me they only want to deal with like 400 and up clients.
So we all, man.
Like, isn't that like an unspoken? But guess what? You're going to work less than that. Or you need to move out of Georgia.
Yeah. Well, I told everyone that yesterday in our Zillow meeting. I was like, honestly though, stop trying to go after these 500,000 to 600,000 clients on the north side. I kind of want to start focusing on the Macon. Give me a couple $200,000 guys in Macon. Those are way easier to qualify for.
Yep.
There's less competition from agents down there.
Yep.
They're usually a little more loyal because you have to educate them a little bit more. But that's good.
Yep.
Because then you have really more control of the client at that point, which is you should because you're the professional.
Yep.
It's like you guys are going on all these appointments on the north side, but you're losing them because you're not staying in touch, and you're never going to close them.
Well, we just need to take those people off of those zip codes too.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it's just silly. But yeah. Anyways. Another side rant. But customer service. Take care of your clients. Take care of your people.
No. It's good.
All right. Well, I think that's it for this topic. That's a good one. Jordan can use it. Hopefully it's not super loud.
Hopefully not. Jordan,
tell them what you're supposed to do.
Oh yeah. You're supposed to follow us at Instagram at thecommute.pod, YouTube at thecommutepod, and on Spotify. Like and subscribe on YouTube.
All right. Commute's out.
All right, bye.